Hello everyone. So if you are a student who is planning to pursue engineering, this video is for you. So let me ask you one question. Which is one country when you think of technology, innovation, robots, or excellence in engineering? I'm sure many of you thought about Japan. Japan is known for its excellence in engineering and technological advancement for many decades now. But have you ever wondered why is it so? क्या आपने सोचा है why Japanese engineers are actually so good and why do they have engineering standard which is class apart? So all of this started right after Second World War. So Second World War के बाद में when Japan was rebuilding, Japanese government started to focus. They decided to focus on engineering and technological advancement as a sector. It was a conscious effort. ऐसा करने के लिए Japanese imperial यानी कि जो imperial family थी उस समय की, उन्होंने they established some universities, imperial universities they were known as earlier. They had excellent engineering facilities and उन्होंने encourage किया कि more and more engineers should come out of those universities ताकि वो जापान को rebuild करने में help कर सके in terms of its infrastructure and technology. इंडिया में अगर आप अपने आसपास देखेंगे और other countries also, I'm sure this would be the case. हमारे केस में कई बार ऐसा होता है, if you look around yourself, have you known these engineers जिन्होंने engineering पढ़ी तो सही, like they pursued mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, but they are no longer working in engineering sector. वो ना ही किसी engineering company में काम करते हैं. Most of them are now employed in IT sector or consulting, finance. They could be doing any of these jobs, but they are very few engineers who continue their passion of working on machines and technology and innovation और वो बहुत जल्दी switch कर लेते हैं किसी भी और industry में. Why is it that? Why are they not hooked to their core specialization? Why are they not hooked to their passion? So there can be many reasons for that. But today we are going to explore why engineering students in Japan are able to take up their specialization to another level and keep working on recent technology and advancement even in the later stages of their career. They continue their career in the same field. So let's explore these reasons together. So one is the curriculum. So the number one reason is the curriculum. Curriculum जो है engineering universities का जापान में, it is an integrated 4-year course जिसमें कि liberal arts, basic engineering subjects, specialized engineering subjects, all these are covered, and at the same time there will be some specialized engineering fields. For example, astronomy हो गया, nuclear engineering हो गया, aeronautical engineering हो गया. All these are also taught there, जो कि बहुत कम universities में available होता है. There are some other interesting features. For example, there are universities which are offering a very multidisciplinary approach. They will have an integrated program जहाँ पे आप mechanical engineering, इलेक्ट्रिकल इंजीनियरिंग और सॉफ्टवेयर इंजीनियरिंग एक साथ पढ़ सकते हैं. इमेजिन द काइंड ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज यू विल हैव वंस यू ग्रेजुएट फ्रॉम सच अ कोर्स. आप अपना स्पेशलाइजेशन कभी भी चुन सकते हैं, कभी भी स्विच कर सकते हैं एंड यू विल हैव स्किल्स फ्रॉम ऑल दीज डिसिप्लिन्स. सो ये कुछ स्पेशल फीचर्स हैं करिकुलम के जापान में. बट इसका सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग फीचर ये है कि जापान में इंजीनियरिंग स्टडीज आर वेरी practical and they focus on problem solving skills. Let me explain how. ऐसा क्यों है कि उनका curriculum इतना practical कैसे है and how they are able to bring that practical knowledge to the students who are studying in universities. इसका एक reason है and which is the most important reason. That is their collaboration with multinational companies. So Japan में all universities, all good universities will have close ties with multinational companies. और इन multinational companies के साथ में ये यूनिवर्सिटीज काम करती हैं. लेट मी गिव यू एन एग्जाम्पल. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अगर हम देखें तो टोक्यो टेक यूनिवर्सिटी विच इज नोन फॉर इट्स एक्सेलेंस इन मेनी इनोवेशंस इन टेक्नोलॉजी, दे वर्क टुगेदर विद मित्सुबिशी हेवी इंडस्ट्रीज. सो इनका एक साथ में रिसर्च सेंटर है एंड द स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम दिस इंजीनियरिंग यूनिवर्सिटी, टोक्यो टेक यूनिवर्सिटी, दे गेट टू वर्क विद इंजीनियर्स ऑफ मित्सुबिशी कंपनी। आप इसका इम्पैक्ट समझ सकें अगर कि आप अभी अगर सेकेंड या थर्ड ईयर में हैं, यू आर स्टिल अ स्टूडेंट एंड यू आर वर्किंग ऑन लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी अलोंगसाइड द बेस्ट ऑफ इंजीनियर्स. So that is the kind of advantage students get in Japan. Similarly, Kyoto University की अगर मैं बात करूँ तो Kyoto University has this kind of tie with Toyota. So they together run a research facility called the Toyota Riken Kyoto University Research Center. Similarly, और भी सारी यूनिवर्सिटीज के टाइप्स जो हैं वो किसी न किसी अच्छी ऐसे मेजर कंपनी के साथ होते हैं. इसके एडवांटेज सबसे बड़ा ये होता है that these students have access to internships and capstone projects in these companies and their various subsidiaries. जरूरी नहीं है कि Mitsubishi में ही हो, उसकी और subsidiaries भी हैं, बहुत सारी companies together they form Mitsubishi, right? So they get an opportunity to together work with these companies. ये जो इंटर्नशिप्स और कैपस्टोन प्रोजेक्ट्स की मैं बात कर रही हूँ, दे आर नॉट मियरली फ्यू डेज और फ्यू मंथ्स, दे कैन बी एज लॉन्ग एज 2 years. सो 2 साल के लिए आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं यूनिवर्सिटी में, यू आर स्टडिंग एंड इन द लेटर 2 years यू आर एक्चुअली वर्किंग टुगेदर विद दीज कंपनीज. Your career has already kick-started. You already have a skill set that is required post-graduation. This is one reason. Another reason is, आपने कई बार देखा होगा कि यूनिवर्सिटीज में द करिकुलम इज नॉट एडवांस, इट इज नॉट अपडेटेड. लेकिन इस केस में व्हेन यू आर वर्किंग टुगेदर विद कंपनीज, यू आर श्योर टू बी वर्किंग विद लेटेस्ट टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इनोवेशन. द इंडस्ट्री कीप्स गिविंग यू फीडबैक अबाउट व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड, द स्किल्स दैट आर रिक्वायर्ड इन द मार्केट, एंड दीज इंजीनियर्स आर वर्किंग टुगेदर विद दीज कंपनीज ऑन दीज स्किल्स, ऑन दीज एडवांसमेंट्स. सो आई विल गिव यू एन एग्जांपल. फॉर एग्जांपल, जो मैंने आपको पहले अभी बताया, टोक्यो टेक का कोलैबोरेशन है मित्सुबिशी के साथ. दे डेवलप्ड अ न्यू टेक्नोलॉजी इन ब्लॉकचेन व्हिच कैन ऑप्टिमाइज peer-to-peer energy trading. Similarly, Kyoto University and Toyota, they are working together in a research center. As I said, they came up recently with a new EV battery, which was way more advanced. Now, these are all very latest technologies, very latest innovations in the market, and these students are working on them already. So these are some of the advantages of their curriculum, that you get to constantly work on practical learning. Second feature of such curriculum is learning Japanese. ये सब सीखते हुए, with all these skills, practical skills, engineers are also given an opportunity to learn a unique language which is Japanese. आप अगर Japanese इन सारी skills के साथ, इस सारी चीजों के साथ जानते हैं, so obviously you have access to opportunities which others can't even apply to. They can't have access. So Japan, for example, is building, bullet train projects in so many countries. It has given this technology to others. You could be one of the engineers working with them, but it will be difficult for anybody else who is not trained in Japan. So these are the kind of opportunities that are given to students in engineering universities in Japan. I will come to the second reason, apart from the curriculum which is focused on practical knowledge and skill development, availability of research facilities and research funds. Now these universities, when they are working so closely with these companies, they have access to their R&D labs, their facilities and funds. इनके अलावा भी in Japan there are other organizations such as Japan Society for Promotion of Science, JSPS बोलते हैं उसको, Japan Science and Technology Agency, JST, and MEXT, which is Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Technology and Science and Technology. They have large sums of grants specifically for supporting research projects in engineering and other scientific purposes. You might be worried about the opportunities after graduation. That takes me to the next reason, which is opportunities after graduation. Japan में, in fact, there is a shortage of engineers. Japan जिस pace से grow करना चाहता है, there is a problem of aging population in Japan, और उसकी वजह से it has been facing a shortage of engineers. And to address this shortage, Japan has implemented many initiatives to attract and retain engineering talent also. Because Japan में mainly जो industries हैं, they are of automotives, robotics, electronics and software, then obviously they need more and more engineers as we go forward. If you want to really understand why you should be studying in Japan when it comes to engineering, I want you to do one exercise. As an engineer, you have to think about top 20 companies that you would like to work in when you graduate, and just take a world map and map these companies. You should definitely focus your energies where you see a cluster. Wherever you see that most of these companies are located, that is where you should be. So that should be your focus, and that should be the country that you should be applying to. I also want to talk about the last point which makes Japan an attractive destination for engineering studies, and that is that engineering is actually very affordable in Japan. अगर आप कोई भी और country लेंगे, even if you compare it with any of the countries which are popular for higher education and engineering, you will find that Japan is almost 1/3 the cost. So these are my reasons that makes Japan the best destination to study engineering sciences, and I would welcome your comments in whatever you thought when you did that exercise with the map. I would want to know कौन सी country आपके लिए results में आई, and I would want to know what are your thoughts on engineering curriculum in your country or wherever you are studying currently. Also, I have an announcement that I am planning something very exciting for engineering students. If you are in grade 11th or 12th, or somebody who is waiting to enter into an engineering university, I am planning a very interesting event. So stay tuned on my channel for more updates. Thank you, and if you like this channel, please subscribe.